time of the month.
That time of the month.
Pain in the ass.
Aunt Flo.
Aunt Flo.
Aunt Rita is visiting.
It was your period. I don't know what that means.
Being on the rag.
Being on the rag.
The curse.
And of course, in those days, it was called the curse. And I understand now that that's a politically incorrect thing to call it. But it seems to me not to call it the curse is to lose the Judeo-Christian background for the reason it's called the curse. Because, of course, we were thrown out of Eden because we disobeyed and became mortal. And that was the curse.
In Hawaiian, we call it ma'i. And ma'i is called the monthly sickness. And the women would gather and they would talk stories, share experiences. Women were considered unclean because they were, their bodies were being cleansed, their ma'i was being released, it was no longer needed.
I just found it literally a bloody nuisance. I was raised with a brother who was only 16 months older than I, and I remember how carefully my mother explained menstruation to him, more carefully than she did to me. She handed me a book. But she said to my brother, when a girl says she doesn't want to go swimming, you're not to argue with her, because there's a time in the month when she can't and it embarrasses her, and you must be very careful of girls at that time. So my brother was given this sense of female fragility during that period and a kind of mystery about it. And in fact, he started being nicer to me.
I don't know. I think everybody's kind of bombarded with tampon and maxi pad commercials, pad commercials at a young age. So there's a certain point you get to where you ask your mom, what is that all about? And she just has to awkwardly tell you. And it's a weird conversation. You think people do that? God, it's disgusting. That's what happens? That's what those are for? It's that unclean feeling.
Guys don't really like talking about that sort of stuff. Kind of creeps them out.
Men's attitude toward blood is from their training. They know we have to grow up to have babies. They have to grow up to kill people. So blood for them is not related to life at all. For a woman, yes, the blood is a sign that there is no child being nurtured, but it is nevertheless life's blood. For men, it's blood, and blood means death.
Men are affected by it, if not only because, you know, if you're trying to have a baby, then you have to know about your cycles, and if you're trying not to have a baby, you have to know about your cycles. And because men are connected to women, and we're all living in this world, and we're all a part of the natural world that is a part of these cycles, you know. It's not, I mean, it is something special that women have too, but, you know, there's no reason why men wouldn't or aren't a part of it, you know, and aren't a part of us. We're in relationships with men, whether they be our fathers or brothers or husbands or boyfriends.
Men's roles are very, very important. I mean, they, you know, we can't get pregnant by ourselves.
There's a serious gift in being able to have children and things like that, and women are sort of lucky and unlucky at the same time, but, you know, to have the gift of being able to harbor life is pretty awesome.
And the curse is, of course, the sign of blood that says you now have to reproduce. And so that it does have a kind of mythic power that I think we shouldn't lose. Shouldn't lose a sense of the ritual of it, the truth of it, the reason for it. We will bear children in pain.
Hey, I'm able to bear life. I'm able to bear life. And that thought just empowered me so much. And it made me feel soft and beautiful and strong at the same time. Because if I can withstand this, as much as I love it and I hate it, I'll be able to withstand almost anything.